What I remember most, of course, is Karin's smile. It's always there, like an angelic Cheshire cat from Alice in Wonderland. The smile, that's who she was.
Sparkle. You have to just look at Karin, and she's like a little electron. Her smile goes up right away. Her eyes just bubble with enthusiasm, and she always knows, it seems, what to say, what to feel, and how to connect with everybody she meets. She's just awesome.
Karin was a very warm and welcoming person, but she had a wicked sense of fun as well.
Well, the TCC was sort of my home away from home on campus, and I'd often find myself dashing over there to grab something for show and tell purposes right before class. And you could tell that all the people that worked there were happy to work there, and I think that was a testament to what Karin put out, what she projected, and the environment that she created.
But I interacted her in a variety of levels, as an undergraduate student, as a graduate assistant in Chicano Studies, as a graduate student, as a part-time professor, and then a tenure-track professor. So I've known Karin since the 70s, so it was a joy always talking to her, even when we were dealing with serious matters. In the department, she worked in a variety of capacities in our curriculum committee. And I think more importantly, her work within the library and providing us with scholarly information related to Chicanos and Chicanas and Latinas and Latinos were just really tremendous.
I just have to say that Karin Durán has talked me down out of more trees than I can count. She's been a life coach, a mentor, a mom, a confidant, you name it, Karin was it for me.
She was really the embodiment of the work of a librarian. Our work was not about her agenda or her academic interests. Our work and our exchanges and our conversations were always about what she could do to help me in my work. So it was always, the entire relationship was, for her, was what is it that professor or that student needs to do and get done, and how can I then bring the resources of the library to bear to help that person?
Oh man, she was funny. Exceptionally funny. And she had the best laugh, that deep, hearty laugh. And if she got going and her eyes started to tear up because she found something so funny, you knew you were riding a high and you had the best time.
When Karin laughed, it was a laugh from her whole heart. It was a warm laugh. It was genuine.
I loved her laugh. She had a great sense of humor. Yeah, that's why I could call her Energizer Bunny and she wouldn't get upset.
Brilliant, beautiful. Karin, just lovely, just great to be around, always there to help. Very, very important to me, being a worker here in the TCC.
Helpful, giving, honest, reliable.
An amazing woman full of compassion and kindness.
Well, I think you have a really interesting mix of things that make her very human, and that's why I think the response to her has been so profound. She's obviously someone who is extremely bright and committed to students, but you also got a sense of whimsy and detachment in her.
Reforma is the National Association to promote library services to the Spanish-speaking and Latinos in the United States. And one of the things that Reforma does is mentor new librarians, and they have also chapters throughout the United States. And Karin was real involved, always had been involved in the Los Angeles chapter. She served as the treasurer of that organization and the secretary, I believe, for many years. And she really worked with people, more than the official title. She worked really to get more people into the profession.
She did a lot in terms of mentoring students. She would really guide them and counsel them. And she never ever thought about students ever failing. She always thought about them being successful. So she used to work hard to make them successful. And she would just really give of herself generously.
I think any student that she dealt with, she was serious about and was dedicated to helping them, like 110%.
So she helps students not only in putting together theses or using particular writing styles and all, but how to use the library, and especially the virtual library.
She mentored a lot of them to go on and go into librarianship and so on. So she was always there as such a great resource for them professionally.
I see her as a Wonder Woman because she did everything. Since I'm a psychology major, she helped me with my research paper and my APA.
She always was helping her students, and she really wanted everyone to do well. She would help me with my homework and look over my papers, and once I turn them in, I always get good grades.
Well, she was very, very giving. I remember I went to her house to pick up a 36-inch TV that she gave me, and then she made cookies. So she was also motherly, too.
She had a very high regard for education, and where our school is in South Los Angeles, the children are from low economic families. She wanted those children to have a quality education. That's why she really got involved with Nativity and was instrumental actually in forming our library. The library needed to have books for grades 6, 7, and 8 added to it, and she spent hours every Saturday for a period of time there cataloging the books and making it into a lending library for those children.
And so really early on in the second week or third week of class, I'd get a classroom full of students down there to meet Karin, and she would come out with her cart of goodies and all the things that the TCC has that students could use. And she knew my courses, she knew the syllabi. She always changed her presentation according to whatever changes or refinements I was trying to make in the course. So she was really up on it. And she would talk to my students perhaps for an hour or so. Sometimes I would get up and go point at things that she was talking about on the shelves in the children's book collection, or I would grab things. And she called that me doing my Vanna White. That was my routine. So she would speak and I would get up and do this and that. And always she would say when she was done to the students, "So, did you learn stuff?" And without fail, most of the students would respond, with a vigorous nodding of the head, like, yes, we learned stuff.
Another thing that I would say is that within Chicano studies, one of the terms that people use a lot that was kind of from Cesar Chavez. He would say always is, "Sí se puede." It can be done. And she exemplified that, and she, taught that to people, that it can be done.
Karin was a good person. She really cared about the people she worked around with.
She was inspiring, generous, and she was always willing to help us students.
I've worked with Karin for 5 years of my life, and I can honestly say that she was elegant but classy, and she always loved a good laugh.
I used to call her my higher power. I kid her. And oftentimes in the classroom, in my freshman class, a student would ask me a question about, an MLA citation type question. And with MLA, things were always changing as we used the internet more. And frankly, I couldn't keep up. And so I would say to my students, well, I have to check with my higher power. He'd say, who's that? And I'd say, Dr. Karin Durán. She's my higher power. I will call her and let you know next time we meet.
She always treated everybody with a tremendous amount of respect. Those are the things that I remember most, that stand out for me. And for me, those things about her will always continue to live with me. They're going to be there always for me to refresh my own spirit.
Thanks for being part of our lives.